Now, if you're prepared to learn why Drake's last name is Cupcake and his first name is Karen, he is accused of pretending to have a meet and greet with supporters online. In addition, Cake Dragon recently emailed Drake some very subtle but obvious jabs at his recent clip shows in reaction to Push entering a lawsuit against him for "not like us." Single quotes, make sure to subscribe and give a like. As we see today, the phony meet and greet from Karen's team and AET's recent act of clowning Drake demonstrate how the ultimate rap dork is simply receiving yet another round of all-time L's for what he just did. Be sure to leave that so that falsehoods are visible to everybody. Rap is a perfect example of how a legend in the genre should express disapproval of what this walking megarand is doing, as demonstrated by what Pusha T recently accomplished. What's actually causing all these problems for the courtside Karen of rap right now? And what is making everyone stop supporting him in court day by day? It's just this mix of court romantics that have been unavoidable this week because, of course, Drake has chosen to become Jerry Springer at the same time. Exposure and obsession with Cupcake's own predicament, as he is making every action he takes serve as a constant reminder to everyone that he is the first rapper to sue following a back and forth lyrical exchange and to go above and beyond in an attempt to prolong this matter. Speaking of being overexposed and upsetting everyone, what has now sent everyone into a tizzy and prompted them to question what is actually happening with drab old Lubry and the optics that he and his crew are attempting to persuade people to believe. As you can see, they are all making an appearance in these films, which are a continuation of the Oboe Karaoke Circus's stopover in Cologne, Germany. And it seems like they are attempting to persuade us of a lot of things at the moment. For whatever reason, people tried to meet Drake and then applauded him at the hotel where he was staying. This is when things start to go strange, and we now know why. So just listen. It is all because of these videos, which were shared only among Drake's team members and then used as stand-ins for him and the throng of people in this photo. However, despite all of this, to start, even though it seemed highly unlikely that Cupcake would go to such lengths as to set up a phony crowd in an attempt to appear as though he is this big deal, the more that has emerged from this, the more you see that the alleged Lubry lover stood there and then applauded this guy when he came out, and for a very doubtful period of time, they believed this to be Drake. Additionally, you see that nobody here is carrying any merchandise, records, or other items, when at least one person usually does at fan events. We can tell from this that something is definitely awry. And we've got you covered right now. To make matters worse, many did link all of this to a company that you could employ to attract large crowds for events in order to attempt to boost anyone's fame and buzz. However, despite all of this, well, listen on. The fact that the team is filming the fans rather than the fans recording the team, farmers had to go to work and attempted to create the most obnoxious captions possible in order to generate interaction naturally. Many concluded that this was just another instance of the awful Drake and MJ analogies, which I won't even bring up because this makes this seem like this, naturally. Though no one possesses even the most basic critical thinking abilities or media literacy these days, there is still much discussion about who else could pull this off, get this kind of response from leaving their hotel room, and just gather this many people. Even yet, this audience isn't actually that large to begin with. Naturally, the fact that other artists were in similar circumstances allowed you to observe it. However, there are obviously a lot of issues now that the law attempted to include Cupcake in the discussion with MJ, the Beatles, and this exclusive group of musicians. Upon closer inspection, it appears that this meeting was arranged solely based on the information provided, which is perplexing. Let's just get started. Though taught, first of all, I will state that you want to watch Aura and see fans truly waiting in queue for a musician they like, as Kendrick Lamar made an unexpected visit at Siznot's Beauty pop-up before the second concert of the Grand National Tour. At MetLife Stadium, The whole audience at the second largest mall in the US is practically waiting in queue for Kendrick, as we have witnessed here, which is extraordinary. And as for itself, I'm simply going to throw it out there once again. In contrast to this Drake meet and greet, when the audience is being recorded. When you see Kendrick Lamar, the fans are filming. To put it simply, these discussions have now focused on Drake, his fame here, and whatever else they're attempting to promote with all of this, which is somehow paving the way for a lawsuit over a rap feud. Once more, the best way to see that Drake is lying to us is to simply look at the facts. To start, it appears that the PR team for both of them was working really hard this week in Cologne, Germany, as Drake's friend Yeet drew a similar crowd for his meet, which all of the pages had to post about. Based on that reasoning, I suppose Yeet is on par with Drake and Michael Jackson since their respective fan bases were the same size. Beyond this, though, I will say this. Isn't it incredible that when we try to compare this Drake meet and greet and crowd gathering to a video of Michael Jackson, Kendrick Lamar, or, well, any other superstar interacting with fans, for that matter, it would look like this. The more you follow this pipeline and examine all the clips that appear to be from this enormous interaction, the more you realize that not a single one of the videos that went viral from this interaction, even remotely, showed Lubri leaving his room and interacting with all these quote-unquote real-life fans. Once more, this is the reason critical thinking is so crucial. Just relax and listen to me explain why you're being played. Drake, I've fewer standing there watching. All I can say is that, in a field that is fixated on appearances, and Drake is in a position where he needs to appear as though he has more support than ever in order to survive it all. It all appears like it was done for him very icily. I apologize about the validity as well. It's amusing because nobody has been able to provide evidence that Drake really left through these exact doors. In addition to this, the great MCs that value poetry and the craft of lyricism above all else are on the opposite side of hip-hop. And they are desperate enough to place Drake in a conversation with someone he doesn't belong with because of a phony and fabricated tape. The greatest hip-hop combo and rappers, excluding Kendrick Lamar, are now on tour with the CLAPS. And their performances are getting better every night. They are called Pusha and Malice. As a result, Pusha Malice and his group have been out there, demonstrating what the greatest live rapping ever from icons with this level of professional success looks like. Additionally, the CLAPS are attempting to just perform their new songs off their fantastic album, Let God Sort Them Out, as well as their iconic catalog, as is customary for these rappers who only wish to create amazing art. Lubri and the Drake haters continue to pull them back into the chaos of all that has been happening in the core of the genre in which he finds himself. This has really reached a new low point, as Drake's team is blatantly dragging the label's past with Pusha and excluding his own songs and lyrics for Drake's advantage in the lawsuit. Drake is complaining that he censored Push, so why can't he censor Kendrick Lamar? Pusha A has apparently come out and gotten another laugh at Karen in response to being brought up in the Drake drama once more. Now that he is a free agent and can say whatever he wants, he is simply letting him know that he is aware of what is happening, and that all he can do is laugh and troll him in the funniest ways imaginable. In addition, Push is no longer constrained by labels or prevented from expressing his truth because of his relationship with Drake. Push just has the willpower to carry out his desires, and I believe that Push doesn't even care to look at Drake in the same way as he used to. Given how successful he is and how he may even be having the best year of his more than 20-year rap career right now, instead, he is simply making fun of the man and trolling his position for its own humorous value. As of right now, when tensions are on the rise, Push has been drawn into this, even though he obviously did not want to. All he wanted was to continue making music and striving to be among the greatest rappers in the world. Pusha T just made fun of Drake in one of the craziest ways we've ever seen. They stated this when a fan sent videos of their child at the event, expressing how much they loved the legendary rapping they were performing. In response, Bush remarked, Congratulations to all the wonderful fathers who are raising sons with outstanding musical taste. And so, listen, Push understood precisely what he was doing by making the clips and their movement larger, as well as with the words, timing, and everything else. Asterisk. Concealing a youngster. Karen and Push's choice of language and phrase alone made him the laughingstock of the whole situation. And everyone's responses, which were genuinely entertaining, clearly understood what he was attempting to do. Furthermore, Push's response to Drake essentially consists of bringing up fatherhood. The one thing that has caused him to spiral out on so many different individuals for so long, naturally. We are witnessing it at the moment. As he is pursuing the exam, as he is very literally going through things like this, Push It is still this. Voice of reason for rap and where it has to go with malice. Allowing everything in hip-hop to be resolved just by the way things are evolving once more. Push is able to reply to Drake's antics and ridicule him, while at the same time, Karen is losing her mind over phony fan gatherings for cupcakes. When you look at hip-hop nowadays, there has never been a more accurate statement than to simply state and quote Pusha T and Malice that hip-hop is letting God handle everything. Having said all of this, please share your thoughts on phony. Meet Tanned Greets, how desperate this is. And how much he is actually lying with this. Because once more, when have we ever witnessed a gathering from the viewpoint of the artist, rather than the fans? What are your thoughts on this small troll that Push did at the same time? And do you think Push will keep addressing Drake more as he attempts to reveal more and more about his behind-the-scenes activities, and to remind Pusha T of the hardships he endured simply for being a better rapper than him? I am eager to hear your thoughts on all of this. Now, please remember to subscribe and like the video if you watched it all the way through. It's really helpful to me. And now if you want to see how prescient this was, Drake just looked bad when responding to the Kendrick Lamar lawsuit live on stage during his event. And thus, he was ridiculed rather severely for this.